Right now on WUSA9, we're bringing you live extended weather impact alert coverage. Behold the snow, as you can see, throughout parts of our town, even in New York City as well. So on the left-hand side of your screen, you're getting a look at the bottom left, which is the Capitol, getting a look at close to DCA on the top left, on the right, the White House, and then on the bottom right, New York City. Right now we're talking about road conditions as the snow makes its way up along the East Coast. Thanks for streaming with us on WUSA9 Plus. I'm Larry Miller. Our weather impact team has been alerting you about this system for days now. We're going to walk you through everything that you need to know so that you and the family can stay safe. Let's check in with the Chief, Topper Shutt, and meteorologist Daniel Johnson with an update on the forecast tonight. Let's start with Top. He's outside on the weather terrace in all of his glory out there with his nice hat on. Top, it looks like things are working out just as you predicted.
Yeah, pretty close. I'd say the changeover maybe an hour late, but better late than never. And it's snowing at a pretty good clip here. And we are seeing snow on the cars, on grassy surfaces, and yes, on the limbs and trees. And we're kind of a little bit concerned about that. So let's talk about our latest snowfall map. Haven't really changed much, okay? We are looking at a 2 to 5 inch band across most of the metro, all right? And we're looking at, again, the bullseye is still, okay, off across the bay. The extreme eastern sections of Prince George's County and also across the bay into Easton. So here we go. We have a weather impact alert, and it's going to be until 6 o'clock tomorrow. Snow is going to accumulate tonight. That's going to be the main focus tonight, is snow tonight. Isolated power outages are possible because it will become windy after midnight and most of tomorrow. So you need winter gear, and I would keep your devices charged just in case. And of course, download the app, and you can follow the snow right along with us. So here we are at 6:30 tonight, and we have this back edge Larry was talking about. We'll watch that carefully because that's the back edge of the accumulating snow. By 10:30, still some snow in the metro. And that back edge hasn't moved much, okay? It's still essentially where it was, okay? West of Leesburg, kind of west of 15. Then we get into, say, 1 a.m., still some snow in the immediate metro. You see the darker gradations, though, out toward, the coast. I mean, that's just heavy snow out there. And then by, say, 6 o'clock in the morning, snow's pretty much gone. We have clouds, we have wind, and we also have temperatures right around freezing. So, again, we're going to get most of the snow between now and about midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, let's talk about where the rain and snow are now, and also who's under a winter storm warning and who's under a blizzard warning. Daniel.
Thanks, Top. Yeah, here's the latest look at radar. The low pressure, the coastal storm, is really cranking now, and the pressure is dropping. And as it does that, colder air begins to move in, or at least heavier rates begin to occur, so heavy precipitation. And as that happens, temperatures begin to drop off. Notice a lot of blue and white showing up. The green is disappearing as predicted, so the rain is shifting to snow now for almost all of us. Still struggling in a few spots. Check out the airport, DCA, the temperature. Just an hour ago, it was 38. So that's the power of the nor'easter and this snow. We've gone from 38 to 34 in just an hour. Manassas 34. Look at the darker blues as well in portions of Fairfax County, Loudoun, Prince William County, even up toward Gaithersburg. That is some moderate to heavy snow. We have some heavy banding down toward Patuxent River and out toward Delmarva as well, with temperatures getting close to freezing, but we're still just above freezing, and that's why it's struggling to accumulate on main roads and most roads for now. Winter weather advisories in effect for the metro, winter storm warnings in effect for areas north and east, blizzard warnings out across Delmarva. Larry.
All right, Daniel, thank you so much. Let's get to Alexis Wainwright. She's in our WUSA9 weather commander. She's in District Heights, checking on the road conditions in Prince George's County. Alexis, how are things looking out there?
Well, Larry, we started in the Weather Commander in Bowie, but we have decided to pull over here in District Heights off of Darcy Road, where the Prince George's County Department of Public Works and Transportation is actively working. I want to show you what we're seeing right now here at this salt dome. We're seeing several trucks kind of lining up here. They have a very rapid system that we've been watching for the past 30 minutes or so. These trucks are filling up on salt, coming in and out every like 5 to 15 minutes really. They're filling up with salt and then they're getting back out on the roads to kind of hit all 6,000 county roads that are throughout this area. So a lot obviously going into this. We know that they have been planning to kind of respond to this for quite some time. And I also spoke with the Department of Public Works and Transportation. They tell me that crews are working 12-hour shifts to make sure that they can stay on top of everything when it comes to treating the roads, but also then when the cleanup process starts as well. So again, you can see actively happening right now here in District Heights. They're filling up truck by truck the salt so that they can get back out to some of these main and secondary roads. We've been seeing them move in and out, and a lot of them are just trying to get out as fast as they can. So that's what we've been seeing for the past 30 minutes or so. A lot of them kind of just trying to get in and out to some of, again, those main roads like where we are right now in District Heights, Darcy Road, also Branch Avenue. So some of those areas where we see a lot more traffic. Now, if we go back about an hour or so when we were in Bowie, we were seeing the snow kind of coming down slowly, but now we've been seeing it move a lot faster. We're seeing it accumulate on the grass, on these vehicles that have been out here, but also in some other areas, kind of on the road. It's kind of turning into like that slush a little bit. So if you do have to be out on the road right now, we want you to be mindful and take it slow as well. One thing we have also been hearing from crews here is that if you can, pull your car off of the road and pull into your driveway if you do have one. So it makes it easier for these crews to kind of pre-treat some of these roads as well, especially if you live off of one of those main or secondary roads. They're also asking if you do see some of these trucks that are out and about while you're driving around, to give it a little extra space, right? So they can have that space and also that time to kind of slowly drive through some of these roads to drop some of this salt. The last thing they're also asking is for people not to park on snow emergency routes. So some of those key things that they're asking for people to kind of work with them on, because this is a kind of two-way street, two-way relationship, right? For them to get out here and properly treat these roads and also clean them when that cleanup process does start. So again, here at the Salt Dome, actively working, crews continue to come in and out here. So they will be on these 12-hour shifts, and we'll be here monitoring this for a little bit, talking with them to try to see what's next as this continues. But for now, that's what we're seeing here. And of course, we'll update you as we learn more. But for now, reporting live in District Heights, Larry, will send it back to you.
And Alexis, to your point, that two-way street is, of course, us as homeowners, those in the community, doing our part to allow the professionals to do their part to keep us all safe. So that symbiotic relationship certainly goes a long way. Alexis Wainwright, thank you so much. Let's take you to Northern Virginia right now, where we find our Sarah Robinson heading out towards Dulles, giving us an update about how things are shaping up in Northern Virginia. We just spoke with an official from Northern Virginia who said, listen, they wanted to wait just a little bit to allow for more accumulation before they send the crews out, but it looks like they're starting to rock and roll.
Yeah, Larry, it does look like that. And I do want to show you what we're seeing because we actually found the plows. I'm not sure if you can see that from my vantage point, but all those flashing lights ahead, those are plows. It's kind of like a plow brigade at this point. We've seen like maybe 10 or 15 of them on this road and also on 276 heading towards Dulles. And I know you mentioned earlier that there are quite a bit of flights that are delayed and canceled. So we are gonna head towards the airport to chat with some folks there that are experiencing those flight troubles. Of course, nobody wants to go through that, but this weather is definitely not something that you want to mess around with. The roads, the main roads, I should say, on the highways are looking pretty good. I mean, it is slushy. I know that our meteorologists have been referring to it as a clingy snow, and we are.
All right, looks like we lost Sarah Robinson. We're going to get back with her, but what she has
more
been
rough shape, I would say.
All right, hi, Sarah, I think we lost you for that last few sentences. Would you mind repeating just a little bit of what you said on the back end? We had some technical issues.
Yes, of course. Yeah, so we pulled off on a secondary street just to see what those roads were like, and they were definitely in worse shape. So if you do need to head out tonight, I would be very careful, exercise caution. I know Alexis mentioned this as well, but it is important to give these plows space because they do create some spray, especially with the snow being the consistency that it is. Also, I experienced some car troubles myself earlier today, so it's important to check to make sure that your battery is in good condition, your windshield wipers, because this snow is really sticky. All right, Larry, I will send it back to you, but we're gonna go to Dulles and check out what's going on at the airport.
All right, both to you and your photographer, we're happy that you guys are safe and sound, because I was hearing a little bit of the drama that was going on regarding the car battery. So it looks like, doing those little checks go a long way in keeping everyone safe and sound. Thank you, Sarah. We appreciate it. All right, so let's talk about school delays, closures for tomorrow. We have a few, certainly starting to pick up right now. In Virginia, both Fairfax and Arlington County Public Schools will open late on a 2-hour delay. So will Prince George's County Public Schools and Montgomery County Public Schools. Now, speaking of Montgomery County, they are already out of snow days for the school year because of the last storm. So for students there, the school year will now end on June 25th. The district says that extending the school year really is the only option to meet the state's instructional requirements. All public schools must provide at least 180 days each year of school instruction. Well, we aren't the only ones getting hit by the storm. Right now, you're looking at video from New York City, where the snow is starting to stick there this evening. And they're bracing for the city's biggest blizzard in a decade. Chanel Call has more.
In Boston, city officials are preparing for what's expected to be the biggest winter storm in years.
We're seeing that the rate of snowfall could be upwards of 1 inch, 2 inches an hour. That will be whiteout conditions.
This as area residents are still cleaning up from the last snowstorm.
This is going to be a different type of storm because it's going to be heavy snow rather than the last storm.
Hardware stores are selling out of storm supplies.
Sleds, shovels, ice melt, ice chippers, and everything is sold out everywhere.
New York City, still recovering from the storm that blanketed the area last month, is preparing for up to 2 feet of snow, prompting schools to issue cancellation notices for Monday.
In total, the storm is projected to drop between 18 and 24 inches across New York City, coming up to 28 inches in certain areas. New York City has not faced a storm of this scale in the last decade.
Members of the New York National Guard have been activated and will be staged across Long Island, New York City, and the lower Hudson Valley. New York's Governor Kathy Hochul also deploying this new snow and ice rescue vehicle.
They're able to pick up people who are stranded in their vehicles and transport 20 at a time.
Thousands of flights have been canceled at major airports. In Miami, travelers scrambled to catch the last available flights back to the Northeast on Sunday. The powerful nor'easter is expected to impact residents from Delaware to Massachusetts, with wind gusts reaching up to 55 miles per hour before the storm subsides midday Monday. Chanel Call, CBS News, New York.
Well, there's a good chance that you might have to do a little shoveling both tonight and possibly tomorrow as well. Doctors are reminding you, though, to be extra careful. The snow expected to be less severe than what we saw last month, but treat it like a workout. Stretch, prepare, cover up exposed skin, especially if it's a little colder for you. The cold can make blood thicker and your heart work a little faster, increasing chances of a heart attack.
If you're going to do it yourself, do it slowly, bend your knees, try to push instead of lift. And if there's a lot of snow, I don't think we're expecting that, but you can do it in little increments. You don't have to lift the whole pile at once. Lift some of it.
That was Dr. Miriam Fisher of MedStar Health saying you should also be mindful when you're walking as well. Last month, their emergency departments treated a lot of injuries related to slips and falls with those that had their hands in their pocket as they were walking and could not react to their fall quickly. Our weather impact alert coverage is just getting started. Our coverage continues until 7 o'clock this evening. Here's another look at the district as we head to break. We're back in 2 minutes. We're keeping an eye on tonight's winter storm, and we're also monitoring possible power outages with that heavy, wet snow that's certainly starting to fall. We're joined now by Chuck McDade, Senior Communications Specialist with Pepco. Chuck, good to see you this evening.
Good evening. Thanks for having me on.
Chuck, there's a real concern about power outages given the weather that we will see over the next few hours. Even Topper says that with the wind and the snow, certainly power outages are possible. What are you seeing out there now?
Well, right now, that is a concern with the wind and if the snow is heavy and wet. But right now, there is minimal impact on the system. I just checked our outage numbers, and we're at 3 active outages, only impacting 5 customers. So hopefully we can continue that trend throughout this storm. But we're prepared for this event. We've been monitoring the forecast like everybody else for the last few days to have that staffing in place and respond to any outages should they occur. And we prepare throughout the year for severe weather through our reliability projects. Something small as installing tree-resistant cable for nights like tonight to prevent those branches from causing outages, to larger projects like a new substation in the White Flint area that serves Rockville, and some bigger projects in the district like DC Plug and Capitol Grid that moves that sensitive equipment underground to keep those lights on.
So are those preparations key in helping the system remain and keep its reliability even as we deal with severe weather like this or even inconvenient weather?
Yeah, absolutely. So those investments that we make throughout the year are to keep those lights on. So we have what's called readiness, right? So for winter, there's winter readiness, and then for summer with severe weather. So our crews are ready to respond to whatever Mother Nature throws our way, whether it's heavy snow like we're dealing with today, or those thunderstorms in the summertime. Those reliability projects are what help keep those lights on. And customers can learn more about those projects by going to pepco.com/reliability to see those plans in action.
Chuck, do you have any sort of high-risk areas throughout town that potentially could be more vulnerable than others? And if so, how do you respond to that?
I wouldn't say there's one particular section that's more vulnerable than any other, but I will say in Montgomery and Prince George's County, for instance, and Northwest DC, there are more trees, so those areas would be a little bit more prone to outages if there was heavy, wet snow, but our crews are ready to respond wherever it happens across our service area, which is Montgomery and Prince George's County, and of course the district, to respond to those outages and get those lights back on.
You know, we talk about preparation, and certainly Pepco has done its preparation for this storm and others. What should we be doing at home? Obviously, we're going to have more storms after this one, if not in the near future, in the distant future. What should we do when we're facing storms like this at home to sort of make sure that we're ready as well?
Absolutely. So the best thing that we would tell our customers to do is to prepare an emergency kit. That should include flashlights, blankets, bottled water, and so on in case the outage does go out, or in case your power does go out. In addition to that, if you can, put flashlights on each level of your home and make sure the batteries are fresh. This way you have a source of light if the power goes out. Other things to think about: if it is an extended outage and you rely on medical equipment, have a backup plan to go somewhere where there is power so you have that ready to go. I would also recommend to download our free smartphone app. And why is that? So if the power goes out, our customers are the first line of defense for us, and we want you to report those outages. So you can do so through that smartphone app. Just simply go and report an outage. You can call us at 1-877-PEPCO62 so we can get those crews out there to get those lights back on. And I will say, if you see down wires or damaged equipment, stay away and call us immediately. Always assume that those wires or that equipment is live. We want everyone to get through this storm safe, and we want people to call us if they experience that so our crews can get out there and make those repairs safely and as quickly as possible.
Chuck McDade, Senior Communications Specialist with Pepco. Chuck, we appreciate your time this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This WUSA9 Weather Impact Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
All right, we are looking at heavy snow to moderate snow across most of the metro. Temperatures are sinking down, still not to freezing, but they're at least in the mid-30s. So here's what we're thinking. We haven't really changed these bands much since Friday. 2 to 5 inches in the metro. A trace to 2 inches, Fredericksburg, and then kind of back up toward Luray in the southern part of I-81. And then the bullseye hasn't really changed. I mean, it's still east of town, maybe extreme eastern Prince George's County, Anne Arundel County, Calvert, and then points east across the bay. 5 to 10 inches plus. I mean, there'll be some areas in this area, maybe south sections of New Jersey, Dover, Georgetown, that plus could be a pretty big number. So here's the radar. Widen this out to show you the breadth of the storm. And it's now snowing almost to Norfolk, all the way up across Long Island and also into coastal Connecticut. It hasn't become heavy yet, but that heavy band of snow is about to move in to coastal Connecticut. So we'll zoom in. And here we go over the past couple of hours, and we see the green disappear and go to snow. Now, we are watching the back edge of this precipitation very, very carefully because, you know, you go west of this area, west of 15 out in Loudoun County, you're not going to see much more, okay? This is kind of the dividing line between accumulating snow for the next few hours and light snow or flurries for the next few hours. So we'll zoom in. Temps now down to 34 in D.C., Gaithersburg, and Frederick, and all of this is snow, and some of it is on the moderate side. So we have a weather impact alert. We issue these for nuisance weather and also for life-threatening weather. This is kind of both. We'll continue this till 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Rain has already changed to wet snow in most places. Accumulation tonight, isolated power outages, windy tomorrow. That's what we're concerned about. So limit your driving tonight. Road's not crazy bad, but visibility is. Winter gear, and of course, download the WUSA9 app. So let's talk about the winds and also the watches and the warnings, and some of them are even blizzard warnings.
That's right, a nor'easter moving right up the coast, and that is why we have warnings and advisories from pretty much Norfolk, Virginia, all the way up through portions of Maine. And look at the orange color right along the coast from Delmarva to Boston. Those are blizzard warnings. Right here locally, though, winter weather advisories. That's the purple county for most of us right around the immediate metro. So we're not going to see as much snow, or at least we're not expecting as much snow compared to areas in white. That's where the winter storm warnings are, just to the north and west and north and east. Even southern Maryland will see some heavier bands, and that's why Leonardtown is in that winter storm warning. But overall, we have these warnings, blizzard warning across the bay. Why? Well, strong gusty winds heading into tonight and tomorrow. For us, yes, there could be some isolated power outages with some of the trees being weighed down from the heavy, wet snow that we're getting, with winds gusting to 30, 35 tonight and tomorrow morning. That's a possibility, not a major concern, but it's possible. But check out Delmarva, where gusts are close to 60 at the beaches tonight and into tomorrow morning. Blowing and drifting snow expected out that way. And for us, just cold and quite breezy as we wake up on your Monday morning. For more on the timeline and more on this event, of course, we'll throw it back over to the chief. Topper.
All right, thank you, Daniel. Yeah, we're looking at winds tomorrow, 30 miles per hour, and we still have some pretty good snows at 7 o'clock, but notice the back edge, okay? And we think that's going to essentially remain there as the storm deepens off the coast. We get into, say, 10 o'clock tonight, and we're still looking at, some snows still back to Leesburg. And some pretty good, now see this little banding right there? Look really carefully here. It's a little dark banding. And we're going to see that kind of set up. And that is going to be kind of the wild card, where you could get a little more snow than 2 to 5 inches tonight. You sort of see it right there through Frederick and then kind of on the east side of 270. So 1 o'clock, snow is now pretty much shut off in Leesburg and Manassas, but still in the metro. Still snowing in Gaithersburg, Fairfax, Rockville, Bethesda, D.C., and over toward Bowie. By 6 o'clock in the morning, it's almost gone, although look carefully here. So we've got some pretty good snows going on in southern Jersey. And temps by morning will flirt with 32 degrees. Okay, by 9 o'clock, we're back in the mid-30s. We could have a rain or snow shower. Tomorrow it stays cloudy all day and blustery, just a really tough day. By 6 o'clock tomorrow, about this time, skies beginning to clear. And then by tomorrow night late, temps are back in the 20s. Tomorrow night, we're going to see a lot of refreezing. I think roads will be worse in some cases tomorrow than they will be tonight, just simply because it'll be colder. So low 40s tomorrow. There's our snow flurries to start and our weather impact alert to start. Clouds come in late Tuesday, kind of cold, and then 50 on Wednesday with morning showers. Thursday, not a pretty day, but at least it's 50, okay? Rain and showers on Thursday, but look what it does. It sets the stage for low 50s on Friday, upper 50s on Saturday, and partly cloudy next Sunday with highs around 60. Wow.
Top really quickly, we heard from officials at Pepco. Doesn't appear that they are too concerned about the likelihood of power outages in the Beltway, but potentially BG&E dealing with Delmarva and other areas could potentially see those power outages there.
Yeah, they're going to have more snow east of us, and they're going to have higher winds east of us. I'm a little concerned in the metro for isolated, but yes, east of town with heavier snow, more snow, and winds up to 30 or 40 or 50 along the coast, yes.
All right, Top, thank you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Okay, we're back. We're going to show you radar, okay? Because this is what's important tonight. This is when the snow is really starting to accumulate. You see the darker band of blue, like right through central Fairfax? That's a pretty good band of snow. We'll watch that over the next couple hours. That's about 1 inch per hour.
All right, stay with us. Our coverage continues after this. Right now on WUSA9 News at 6:30, we are in weather impact alert mode. Flakes are falling tonight as this winter storm moves throughout the region, and it's already causing some closures, delays for your Monday morning. Good to be here with you on this Sunday night. I'm Larry Miller. When storms impact the DMV, you can count on us here at WUSA9. We're covering what's happening, what's changing, and obviously what it means for you and your family. We have live team coverage. Our Alexis Wainwright is tracking the conditions in Prince George's County. Sarah Robinson is in Northern Virginia. But let's start with the weather impact team. Meteorologists Topper Shutt and Daniel Johnson. Let's begin with the chief, Topper Shutt, giving us a look at how things are shaping up outside along the weather terrace. Top?
Snow is accumulating on everything but the ground. It's accumulating on the grass, but not on concrete or asphalt just yet. But it is, getting on our bushes here and on the trees. And we're kind of concerned about that, Larry, because winds are going to pick up after midnight as the storm begins to intensify and move away from us. First things first, though, here's our latest snowfall map. We went through the numbers at 5 o'clock, and this is what we came up with. So, again, 2 to 5 inches across most of the metro, okay? But you notice extreme eastern Prince George's County, Anne Arundel County, Calvert County, they're going to be 5 to 10 with a plus, and this plus is going to be out here along the Delmarva. Now, less out toward Luray, Culpeper, Orange, and down toward Fredericksburg, they're about a trace to 2 inches, all right? And this is all going to accumulate tonight as we speak, and mainly on grassy surfaces. We're not that concerned about interstates, side roads, and sidewalks tomorrow morning, yes, but temps are only going to be around freezing tonight. We're not going to see temps plummet, into the 20s. That would be a disaster. So, 7 o'clock tonight, pretty much moderate to heavy snow across the metro. Temps flirting with 32, but not 32 yet. But notice the back edge here. That's like 15, Route 15 out Loudoun County. It points west. So the heavier snow is kind of ending right there. We'll watch that too as the storm system advances eastward. By 10:30, though, we still see sort of the same back edge in essentially the same place, okay? And then pretty good snow is right along 270 and right along I-95 between, say, Stafford and also Baltimore. Even by 1 o'clock, we still have a little bit of a band, okay? This is like the trough, the last part of the storm, right through the metro. And that could give us another inch to a half an inch late tonight. So we'll come back. We'll go through Futurecast in a minute. Right now, we'll talk about who's under the warnings and some radar. Daniel.
That's right. Yeah, thank you, Topper. We're going to start with radar and just show you where this impressive nor'easter is. This is really just the beginning of it, especially for Delmarva and up toward New England. For us, a few more hours to go, probably up until about, as Topper mentioned, midnight, maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. Then it's out of here. But that low pressure right now off the coast of Norfolk, it's going to be strengthening and lifting up the coast. And you can see a lot of the green disappearing, turning into blues and whites. That is rain changing to snow, and pretty much all of us now dealing with that snow. We have heavy bands right now, a heavy band we're watching closely in Fairfax County, Prince William County, Montgomery County as well, and eastern portions of Loudoun County with temperatures getting close to freezing. Very heavy rates across the bay over in Cambridge, Maryland, eastern Maryland, Patuxent River getting in on a heavy band, but temperatures still overall slightly above freezing, and that's why it's taking some time to stick on the roadways. Now, here's a look at some of those winter alerts across the region. Winter weather advisories covering the immediate metro area. Winter storm warnings for a few counties north and west and some counties off to our east. Areas in the warning will likely see a little more snow than those in the advisory. We'll be back in a few more minutes with more details.
All right, Daniel, thank you so much. Let's talk about what's happening county by county. We start in Prince George's County with our Alexis Wainwright in the WUSA9 weather commander. She's in District Heights with an update on the conditions there. I think the last time we saw you, you were at a salting center. It looks like you're still there. How are things shaping up and how are crews responding to the storm tonight, Alexis?
Well, Larry, I could tell you here in District Heights right now, we're starting to see the snow pick up a lot more. We've been here at the Salt Dome for about an hour now. We've been seeing a steady flow of crews working in and out, picking up salt and going out on some of these county roads. Now take a look here. Again, we are right off of Darcy Road at this Salt Dome with the Prince George's County Department of Public Works and Transportation. And you can see that trucks are actively picking up salt here and going out to cover several county roads. We know there are about 6,000 county roads that they are responsible for, and crews will be working on 12-hour shifts just to try to kind of treat these roads and start the cleanup process as we move closer to the late night hours. Now, one thing we have also noticed is just how frequently these trucks are coming in and out here. Maybe every 5 to 10 minutes, we're seeing more trucks coming back and picking up salt. And again, one thing that they are also asking is for people who are out on the roads, if you do have to be out in this snow right now, they're asking for more space when these trucks are out on the road. If you see them kind of back up a little bit, they're going to be driving a little bit slower than the speed limit, obviously, to drop some of that salt and kind of treat these roads as this snow continues to fall. Now, another thing we've also heard is that Prince George's County Public Schools have announced a 2-hour delay because of the conditions that we're seeing right now. We also know Montgomery County has also announced a 2-hour delay. So we're starting to see kind of the actions for Monday when it comes to the cleanup process and just what we expect to see. I also just received an alert from the city of Bowie, who has announced that they will not be doing trash pickup on Monday as well. So again, a lot kind of happening, but we can tell you that crews have been actively working out here, picking up salt and going back out on the roads. Again, one thing they are also asking is that if you can, pull your cars into a driveway if you have one, so they have more space when they're kind of out there on those roads, especially some of those secondary roads if you live on one of those, but also when they get to those neighborhoods as well. We know a lot of people have been expressing concerns about the snow and the response for this, but we can tell you what we have seen here has been crews working actively to pick up salt and get out on those roads. Again, if you don't have to be out on this or out in this, I can tell you it's best to just stay at home. We'll continue to monitor things here, but again, the snow is starting to pick up a lot more. We're starting to see accumulation kind of on the streets a little bit, but more so on some of the grassy areas, but also vehicles. So again, a lot happening here, crews actively working. If you can't avoid this, it's best to just stay home. Reporting live in District Heights, Larry, will send it back to you.
And certainly now that we're starting to see more snow begin to fall, we expect more crews will be out on the roads as well to keep them as safe as possible. Alexis Wainwright, thank you so much. Let's take you to Northern Virginia this evening. Sarah Robinson is heading towards Dulles right now. Sarah, give us a look at how things are shaping up. I think the last time we saw you, we saw a row of plow trucks along the street ready to respond.
Yes, Larry, we did. And right now we are on 7 East headed towards Tyson's Quarter. We did check out the Dulles area. We stopped by the airport. It was very crowded. So we're going to head back there after this to chat with some folks. But I do want to show you some secondary streets because I did bring that up the last time we spoke. And the secondary streets, let me turn around my camera here, are not looking as good as the main roads. You can see that it's actually starting to stick, and we've seen several drivers. Now you see that driver up ahead has their hazards on. We've seen people pulling off of the roads left and right, and on the main roads, or I should say on the highways, the visibility is not great. It can be very hard to see at certain points. We had trouble distinguishing where we were, if we were in the right lane or the correct lane, because the visibility, of course, when you're driving at a higher rate of speed drops off. So people were also going slow on the highways, but the snow is starting to accumulate. You can see on this Tesla in front of me that there is kind of a lot of snow already on that back windshield there, and it is a sticky or clingy snow, and that is why it's accumulating so quickly. We did definitely notice that there was a big shift after the sun went down. We started our day driving right before 5 p.m. and at that point visibility was great, but as it's getting colder, the snow has picked up and the sun has gone down and the conditions are not that great. So I would definitely try to avoid being out here tonight if you can, but we have seen a lot of plows. So that is the good news. And of course, we all want to know what's going on at the airport. There's going to be a lot of people that are not going to be happy campers today because of the snow and the flight cancellations. So we'll be sure to bring you the latest from there. Larry?
Yeah, hundreds of delays, even more cancellations up and down the East Coast in response to this ongoing storm. And just something that you mentioned, Sarah, before we let you go, sort of about the response there within communities. As we heard from an official with VDOT earlier in our program, they were clear. They don't really get out into those neighborhoods until they get about 2 inches of snow. That's when the plow trucks will be making their way out there. The concern now on those main roadways that we are seeing. So folks are going to be heading out at some time this evening to please be careful because the roads are slick and the snow is starting to pile up. Sarah Robinson, thank you so much. Let's talk about some school delays and even closures. We know that Charles County Public Schools will be closed tomorrow. So will Fairfax County Public Schools now. So that's an update. Remember, Fairfax County at one point was on a delay of 2 hours. They are now closed. Arlington Public Schools will open 2 hours late. 2 hours late, that is. And the same goes for Prince George's, even Montgomery County Public Schools. Remember that Montgomery County is already out of snow days for the school year because of the storm that we saw last month. So you can see that all of these updated closings scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now will certainly have an impact potentially on when schools, in fact, will close for the year. We have more information available on our website at WUSA9.com. Well, after this broadcast, our weather impact alert coverage continues on WUSA 9 Plus. We'll be streaming live with the latest snow totals and school closures tonight at 10 p.m. And you can download WUSA 9 Plus for free by just simply scanning the QR code on your screen. We'll be right back with the news at 6:30 after this. Happening tomorrow, the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments will hold a briefing with D.C. Water on the Potomac sewage crisis. We know that this certainly comes with a huge price tag and a timeline to clean up the river, and it will certainly be a hot topic. Yesterday, President Trump approved FEMA disaster relief for the district, and it comes 1 month after the Potomac Interceptor collapse, sending millions of gallons of sewage into the Potomac. D.C. Water now estimates that repair costs could reach $20 million. We spoke with an engineering expert who has worked with pipes and repair, and he says that it was only just a matter of time before something like this happened.
There's probably more sewage going through that line than it was originally designed for. And so when you take that possibility and you add that to the deterioration of the structure due to the presence of sulfuric acid, then you got a kind of a time bomb, ticking time bomb.
D.C. Water will host 2 community meetings this week to talk about the spill. The first on Wednesday at D.C. Water headquarters. That's in Southeast Washington. The second Thursday at Walt Whitman High School in Bethesda, Maryland. Both meetings begin at 7. You can find all of the information that you need about those meetings on our website at WUSA9.com. We'll be right back.
This WUSA9 Weather Impact Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Okay, here's our updated snowfall map. This goes through Monday morning. And again, we haven't really changed much. We're still looking at 2 to 5 inches in the immediate metro. That includes Frederick and Gaithersburg, Waldorf. The bullseye is still east of town. Annapolis, extreme eastern Prince George's County, Calvert County, and then trace to 2 inches, kind of Culpeper up toward the southern I-81 corridor. So we'll talk about road temperatures. Let me show you outside our weather terrace, and it's snowing and it's sticking on the bushes a little bit. But notice it's in the pot there on the left, but it's not. It's on the top of the fence, okay, and it's on the grasses and on the cars. But notice it's not on the concrete, on the pavement. So let's talk about pavement temperatures, okay? So we're kind of surprised at some of these temperatures. Up in Hagerstown, I-70 and I-81, not as cold as I thought, 33 to 36 right now. But in Frederick, I-70 is 32, and that just updated, and so did the American Legion Bridge update. I mean, that came in like 9 minutes ago, and it says 32 degrees. Of course, as Daniel said, snowflakes are 32, so that's probably why it's reading 32 degrees. All right, here's the radar. The big storm, I mean, it's just getting cranky now off the Delmarva. Bands of snow are moving in to New York, coastal Connecticut, New Jersey, kind of much sort of like a winter hurricane with bands of precipitation. We have some pretty good bands ourselves west of town. That blue is where the heaviest snow is right now, and we'll see how long that can last. This is 6:45. We see heavy snow through Fairfax and into upper Montgomery County. And really right now we're seeing pretty good snows in the immediate metro area. See the darker shades of blue? That's the heavier snow. We'll kind of zoom in. Still heavy snow east of 15, down and up either side of 270 and also into D.C. with temperatures now flirting with 32, but still 34 to 35 is the range. Now, as the storm deepens and then moves away from us tomorrow, winds are going to pick up. For more on that, here's meteorologist Daniel Johnson.
That's right. This nor'easter is going to strengthen over the next few hours into tonight and tomorrow and really whip up the winds across the area. Right now, not a big concern when it comes to the winds, and it's not going to be a big concern for the immediate metro area either, but a slight concern. We're only slightly concerned with some isolated power outage potential because of those northwest winds behind the system, kicking up to right around 30 to maybe 35 miles per hour. Again, that's gusting in our viewing area. Outside our viewing area over toward Ocean City, gusts close to 60. Salisbury, Georgetown, gusting between 40 and 50 as well. And that's where we have blizzard warnings in effect because of the blowing and drifting snow and limited visibility with those strong gusts. Again, for our area, winds gusting between 30 and 35 tonight and tomorrow, definitely causing some slight concern for isolated power outages. When it comes to the precipitation, winter weather alerts, we have a winter weather advisory for the metro, winter storm warnings in effect for areas off to the north where we'll see a little bit more in terms of those heavier snow totals. But Topper mentioned it, we're watching that heavy band right now in Fairfax County, and that's where some of the roads are going to cave in a little bit as temperatures begin to drop off, right?
Yeah, we saw that live picture. I mean, some of the interstates even getting a little bit of slush just simply because it's snowing so hard. So weather impact alert will continue through 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We issue these for nuisance weather and also for life-threatening weather, and it's kind of both here. Moderate to heavy snow. Some roads are covered. Isolated power outages. Really becomes windy tomorrow or after midnight. I'd limit your driving tonight. Even if the roads aren't that crazy slick, visibility is greatly reduced. Winter gear, and of course, download the WUSA9 app. Okay, here's Futurecast. 10 o'clock tonight, still some pretty good snows back into portions of Fairfax County and Loudoun County. You look carefully, you sort of see a little band here, okay? And that is going to be where the heaviest snow will be. And much like summertime when we have thunderstorms, exactly pinpointing that band is pretty tough. But just be advised, it could actually sort of be right along the river and kind of over D.C. by 1 o'clock in the morning. Temps are now around 32, but as we mentioned earlier, we're not going to collapse and precipitously fall into the 20s tonight. So that's going to keep the roads in actually pretty good shape. Yes, your sidewalks will be slippery, your driveway will be slippery, yes, but the interstates will be fine. And there's our northwest winds tomorrow morning. Temperatures, around either side of freezing, and just a slight chance of a shower, a snow shower or a flurry tomorrow. So after tomorrow, we're kind of cold again on Tuesday. Clouds come in. Maybe a snow shower Tuesday night, then just rain showers on Wednesday. We're back to 50. And then look at this. We have rain and showers on Thursday, 50, but then we're 52 next Friday. And the weekend looks more like, late March. Upper 50 Saturday and 60 next Sunday with sunshine.
Listen, there's a life lesson in this forecast, Top. Eventually, it gets better.
Right.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Team USA caps its best Winter Olympics performance ever. Next in sports, how the U.S. won its final medal of the Winter Olympics. The gold medal drought is officially over. For the first time in 46 years, the U.S. men's hockey team's back on top. It's the first gold medal for the team since the Miracle on Ice in 1980. They beat Canada 2-1 in overtime. Jack Hughes was the hero for Team USA. He scored less than 2 minutes into overtime, sparking celebrations in Italy and across the U.S.
For him to make that impact, I'm not surprised because, you know, when I look around the room before overtime, there's probably 3 or 4 guys that look at him, I'm like, that guy's not nervous, you know, he wants to be that guy.
It's an honor to wear this jersey and to represent the U.S. and to go home with a gold medal. I mean, you know how much that means to the guys in this room and how much it means to, you know, all the people watching and rooting us on too.
All right, Jack Hughes, the smiles of a champion there. Final look at the medal count. Team USA has its best performance ever in the Winter Olympics. The red, white, and blue bringing home 12 gold medals, 33 total. The U.S. finishes second in the medal count behind Norway. Nice job. Well done.
All right. Well done. Absolutely. All right. So once we get through the accumulating snow tonight, shuts off around midnight, 1 a.m. Maybe a flurry tomorrow, but then just windy and cold. And then, yes, it warms up. We're 60 by next Sunday.
All right. We'll see
you
you.
Like that sort of thing.
We'll see you back on TV at 11 o'clock tonight. Be good.